From retro to next gen, we've got it all. I'm George, a Gen X grown-up, and this is Bit by Bit. And here's a follow-up bit from our friends over at TimeExtension.com. Turns out that Polymega Atari module is a full module that will play cartridges and comes with a very unique looking joystick. So this got released or got announced on May the 14th. It's up for pre-order right now, and the total pre-order for the module and the joystick combined is $120, and it's expected to ship, I believe I saw, October of 2025, so not too far around the corner. I hope the tariff trade war stuff doesn't slow that release date down, but they also have the joystick itself, if you'd like to get just that, for $45, or maybe you need a second one to play with friends and whatnot. I took a look over here at the system itself, and so here's the Polymega website. So you need the base unit first, and you can see that's $549. There's a deluxe bundle that's quite a bit more, as you can see, and then there's all these modules. And the way that you can see right here in this picture, the modules all slide onto the front of this base unit is what I can gather from this. And then on the front of each one of the modules, you can plug in the regular controllers, as you can see, their controllers, and play the cartridges associated with that system. Well, right here is the Pro module set for $120. I haven't seen where you can buy the joystick on the website yet separately, but I'm sure it's in here somewhere if I were to dig around. But I just wanted to point out this thing is going to be compatible with 2600 cartridges for North America and PAL, as well as 7800 cartridges for North America and PAL. Now, I don't know why not the 5200. That's something that's way above my pay grade, but you can see the module itself is EMO6. Remember that website, that page was just 6 with all the cool little black flash out as they revealed a little bit each day, and then the Pro joystick is PR06. So if you're looking to pick up one of these new systems, I think it's a great way to get into the Polymega market if you're an Atari fan, or if you already have Polymega, this is a great way to expand your library. All right, here's a release bit from NicheGamer.com. The Siege and the Sandfox is going to be released on May the 20th for PC. It's going to come out on Steam, GOG, Epic, and the Humble Store. Not a Humble Bundle, but the store itself. They're calling this a 2D stealth Metroidvania game that's a platformer. Now, they go into a rundown of the game here, which you can read. They give you the gameplay, the story, and all that. Some of the features, that's nice. But I really want to highlight the trailer. It's really pretty. If it weren't for the trailer, I wouldn't nearly be as interested in this game, but it does make it look great. So this might be a game that I pick up day one, May the 20th of 2025. The Siege and the Sandfox, a new Stealthvania game from PlayOn. Let's take a quick look at the latest top 10, but this one's top 5 list. You guys know how I feel about these things, but this one's from Sportskeeda.com. The best Nintendo DS emulators for smartphones. Now, this makes a little bit of sense to me because Nintendo DS, being a handheld unit, emulating it on your smartphone feels like it would be natural, but let's take a look and see the list, see if I recognize any of them. So, Drastic DS emulator, never heard of that one. Looks like it came out in 2014, so it's got some years on it. Hopefully they've been developing it ever since then. Picture looks okay. I like the screen a little bit. I'm not super sold on it though. Let's go to the next one. NDS Boy, okay. When did this one come out? They don't really tell us, but it's designed for Android 5 and above. Wow, that's kind of old. Android 5? Aren't we like way past that now? Anyway, okay, RetroArch. All right, here's one I know. RetroArch I've used a lot in other applications, never on my phone, but I know it's a good, solid emulation platform to use for a lot of different sources, not just the DS. EmuBox, I think I've heard of that one once before as well. I don't think I've used it, though. And then finally, Delta. So if you're on the lookout for a way to emulate your Nintendo DS games on your smartphone, maybe check out this list. I'll have the link down in the description, and maybe you can find something that can help you play some of your Nintendo DS games on your phone. Here's a bit of a downer of a retro gaming bit, I guess you want to say. This article is talking about the new collection trilogy that we're getting a re-release of Gex. So Gex was a platformer, kind of a Sonic the Hedgehog, Mario kind of knockoff type of thing from the mid-90s. It starred Dana Gould handling the voice work for this, and it was a little gecko guy. This is long before the Geico gecko. But yeah, the trilogy was fun. I enjoyed it. It first started off on the 3DO, and then it came to PlayStation, Nintendo 64, and a couple of its sequels, different systems like that. But I enjoyed Gex. I thought it was okay. The author of this article is definitely down on the system. He says, the platform trilogy we all knew was mediocre, even in the 90s. You know, I don't really necessarily agree. I went back and looked through Wikipedia and a few other places. I don't think it got that bad of reviews. Matter of fact, the reviews I read seemed pretty positive. This author just seems to really not like the game that much. What he has the biggest trouble with, though, is the price tag on the collector's edition, which is going to be $200. So, okay, I get the price. I'm not a big fan of overinflated prices, but here's what you get in this collector's edition. You get a 36-inch inflatable Gex doll and a 7-inch Gex statue with a whole bunch of other goodies packaged up in a box illustrated by Yoshitaka Amano, who did some Final Fantasy artwork. So I don't know if $200 is worth it for a collector's edition, but to say the game was mediocre, I completely disagree with. This thing should be coming out in mid-June of 2025, so I guess only time will tell when this thing starts releasing if people are willing to pay $200 for the collector's edition of a trilogy of platformers that this author thinks were mediocre. Okay, let's take a moment to look at this bit from XDA.com. There is a new FPGA-based handheld called the Game Bub that will get you back into your old Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy Color games. This does support physical cartridges for both the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance, as it says right here. You can also enjoy homebrew things that are out there on cartridge, which is really nice. You can also sideload ROMs with a micro SD card, which is where you get the Game Boy Color support as well. There's a lot of other neat things in this video here that I definitely want you to go watch. It's like 2.5 minutes that the guy is he's just kind of demonstrating the potential and what this thing can do. It's got an accelerometer built in. He's got a dock that will allow HDMI output for whatever device you'd like to screen share this with. But one of the things that I found really interesting was it actually has that Game Link support. Remember the cable for the Game Boy Advance and everything where you could plug two systems together and play like Mario Kart or something with another friend who had the same system and same cartridge? You can do that with this Game Bub. Anyway, they have not released it yet. The creator says that he hopes to have it out soon. There is a supply page that you can go take a look at for a campaign start date. I'll have the link in the description to this article here so you can take a look at the YouTube video and the link to his page. But man, if you're a Game Boy Advance, Color, or regular Game Boy fan, this might be right up your alley. That's going to do it for the news making headlines in the gaming world right now. I am George, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, and I'll keep on bringing you the news bit by bit.